Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. To start things off, Bitcoin pulled back alongside a broader cryptocurrency index on Friday as traders continue to take cues for direction from the US stock market. The benchmark cryptocurrency fell by a modest 0.23% to 92.15 in the early trading session, but the loss appeared larger after including its 2.1% plunge on Thursday, signaling that it may head lower further into the on-day trading or intraday, as well as the coming weekend session. There's a little chart right there. The analogy looked the same for the S&P 500, the US benchmark index. Like Bitcoin, kickstarted the week with a rally, but it then remained choppy throughout as investors weighed prospects of an economic recovery against new 19 cases. On Thursday, the S&P 500 fell 0.56% to 3152 after the U.S. jobless claims update. New data showed that the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits remained elevated at 2.3 million. This was, however, a drop of 90,000 from the previous week. However, for those of you not or are looking at the screen, the numbers are still incredibly high, and I'm going to tell you exactly. I mean, so without really having to, you know, whatever. The point is, the numbers remain over 30 million. The news that we had before a couple of months ago is that the numbers were 40 million. And usually when they get some type of economic news as to exactly how jobless people are, we typically hear that the numbers are around 2 million. You'll hear 2.1 million. And it kind of throws people off because it makes people think in a certain way. And this is exactly how it's meant to work. Is that it's not 30 million people anymore. It's simply 2.3 million. That's not that bad. But when you look at the actual charts for how many people still do not have jobs, are furloughed, and also going into the actual discussion of people who, it may not be the same in your country, but I know that many times if you were trying to apply for jobless benefits, you have to had that job for over 12 months. If you had it for 9 months, 8 months, 7 months, 4 months, 3 months, 11.5 months, and you did not reach that 1-year barrier, you then do not apply for unemployment benefits. And that's also the discussion of people who may not have had proper documentation, who may have worked in hotels, bars, restaurants, cafes, you name it, even picking fruit sometime. They are also out of jobs, and that puts the actual realistic number just within the United States roughly anywhere between 55 to 60 million people, keeping in mind that there are 350. I think the actual air quote estimates of people within the United States range anywhere from 300 to 350 million people, with a portion of them being over the age of 18 and or 16, depending on where you are within the United States, who are legally able to work. So the number of people who are actually legally, air quotes, able to work within the United States is not as large as 300 million. And then you also take into consideration around a 55 to 60 million people just within the states alone who are unable to work. You get massive amounts of problems. So the fact that we saw the stock market going up at all because of this dip right here, for those of you who do not know what this dip is right here, this is the one of the larger numbers that we saw. It's not even reflecting the actual 40 million number that we had previously for jobless numbers. When we had this dip, it was because it was the idea that jobless numbers had started to go down, and therefore people were potentially going back to work. And this news was thrown around in the news quite often as a swift, heavy economic recovery. If you are looking at this chart, this does not look swift at all. The numbers did not drop to around here. They remained here, and now they're going back up, which means that barely several million people were able to go back to work. I know many people who have, air quotes, gone back to work, and they are still part-timed and or told, we will reevaluate your situation in September. You can come back to work now, but in September, things might completely change. This is why before, You might remember I was quite perplexed and a little annoyed in a couple of my videos because I was like, these are the actual numbers. The numbers have not really gone down. Why is the stock market rising to new all-time highs on the idea of a recovery when there isn't one? Unemployment data largely or lately played a crucial catalyst in sending the US stocks up or down, which made absolutely no sense because the stock market is incredibly overvalued right now. The recovery in non-farm payroll jobs late last week propelled the S&P 500 higher, a sentiment that the Bitcoin traders laggingly captured into the weekend. But now it appears analysts see joblessness falling below the Great Depression levels as a clear sign for a full-fledged economic rebound. I'm going to scroll back up to this chart once again just so you can see that. The amount of calls that we're getting for a rapid economic rebound are insane. I'm not sure what numbers these people are looking at. I'm not sure what Kool-Aid they've been drinking, but it must be something absolutely incredible because the amount of people who believe that we are on the cusp of a hyper recovery are out of their minds. I don't know how to put that any better. I really can't make it into a better sentence. It says it's not surprising, someone quoted, depending on some of the headlines that scroll through at this time, you're going to have what we basically call a choppy market. A portfolio manager at Natixis Investment Manager Solutions told the Wall Street Journal, it's going to be uneven. You're going to have fits and starts. Everything should have been reset by this point. The stock market does not make any sense. It is being held up by money that is hundreds of billions of dollars that are being injected into the stock market weekly as trillions of dollars have been printed. That's the only thing holding everything up, and the idea that everything is going to go back to normal even by September is just completely out in space somewhere. My arms are pointing towards the sky because this is exactly where these ideas are coming from. They are not going to happen. The news is, however, reeling it back in that Bitcoin and the wider cryptocurrency market have fallen. Roughly around, you can see right here, 2.3%, 2.2%. It's the idea that the stock market fell on new data, that things aren't as peachy as people were told in the news, and therefore reality has to start setting back in. This is, I assume, going to be a common discussion over the next while. I'm not exactly sure for how long, but we are getting a lot of news that, how do I say this? That when the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ go up, that Bitcoin has to go up because they have a positive sentiment, and therefore we also have a positive sentiment. There is no correlation between Bitcoin and stocks other than a fear index, and that if stocks completely collapse, it's because, once again, reality has finally set into the actual market like it should have months ago, and therefore Bitcoin must in turn then fall because, you know, everyone potentially may be fleeing from a weary stock market that has been held up by balloons that don't have much helium inside of them. The other point of it being is that the actual idea that Bitcoin, a worldwide currency, is somehow correlated to stocks and or bonds as far as, like, you know, these are stocks for companies and not an actual currency. That's being used by millions of people around the world right now who are going through tons of economic hardships is a little hard for me to I don't want to say the word grasp, but I'm going to use the word grasp. We constantly get news, and this has been a topic for a while now, and I'm not sure if it has to do with the people who mentioned before that they were going to tame Bitcoin, but I'm a little annoyed at the news that we keep getting. Same exact thing as last year, that we need a Bitcoin ETF, and now the idea is that historically Bitcoin did not follow the S&P 500 and or the NASDAQ, or if it did, it went in the opposite direction. But for some reason now, Bitcoin seems to be trading almost exactly, as it says right here, like the S&P 500, which I also find to be a gigantic farce as well. Anyway, the news being that the cryptocurrency market has slumped a tiny bit based on the idea that other people around the world are finally getting the real news of what's been going on the last couple of months. I'm not sure if the people who are making all of these claims that we are going to have a V-shaped recovery have watched the news over the last 5 months or are currently watching the news right now, especially what's currently taking place. However, assume that we could, within the cryptocurrency market, also potentially see a drop in prices as well, as I assume this fear sentiment will grasp those who do not properly understand what Bitcoin is for or how the Bitcoin is actually completely uncorrelated through all of this. However, that's the price news. We'll see how this goes through the weekend, and without further ado, let's move on. Next up, popular trader Peter Brandt believes that Ether saw a significant breakout in its Ether to Bitcoin pair on the 9th of July. According to the veteran trader, the breakout could be a signal that a new altcoin season could occur in the near term. He tweeted, "Significant breakout in the ETH to BTC with a target of 0.03276 BTC. Most alts should gain on Bitcoin in near future." There's a little chart right there. The strong performance of alternative cryptocurrencies. I don't think I've never seen anyone spell out altcoins completely as alternative cryptocurrencies in recent weeks coincide with an Ether rally and the expectation that upcoming network upgrades will solve the scaling issues that plague the network during peak transaction phases. In the past week, Cardano, Kyber Network, Compound, and Chainlink, 4 major altcoins, recorded substantial gains against the US dollar, Bitcoin, and Ether. All 4 cryptocurrencies had key network upgrades, product launches on high-profile announcements, which drove their values higher. Cardano, for instance, transferred a node containing all of the changes of its Shelley upgrade onto the mainnet. On the 30th of July, a hard fork on the Cardano blockchain will finalize the highly anticipated Shelley upgrade. This positions Cardano to rival Ethereum as an established proof-of-stake network. Well, Ethereum doesn't have proof-of-stake yet, so Cardano will be the first to have it before Ethereum, because that's how logic works. There's still a huge, I'll say a healthy portion of alt-season news floating around. These dips that we have in price sometimes deter people from thinking that things will continue in the direction that they were before. The fundamentals are still there. All of these coins are still relatively to highly popular, and that has not stopped over the last 18 hours because prices have dipped a tiny bit. We are still in the midst of what many people are calling an alt-season rally or a bull rally or a crypto rally, whatever kind of term you want to sprinkle on top of it, as many cryptocurrencies continue to gain in value. We are very close to many different network upgrades. If we get any type of news, and I think Ether could be the it thing. I think Cardano positioning itself to continue moving up higher could be a catalyst for the entire market, but as many coins are tied to or tethered to Ethereum on nearly every single cryptocurrency exchange, they're usually tied always to Bitcoin and Ether. If Ethereum experiences a huge upward swing because we get news from Vitalik Buterin or Joseph Lubin or anybody else that we are going to see Ethereum 2.0 very soon, that is going to be the breakout moment. But I think we're all kind of, I guess, waiting on the sidelines, or anticipatedly, excitedly waiting, I guess. I mean, I see no difference from yesterday to today, especially with news that we must in some way be correlated to traditional markets. If you look at any type of news over the last couple of years, it was that cryptocurrencies in no way were correlated to the traditional markets. There was simply no way that they could have been, because we were risky assets. We were things that simply didn't correlate possibly to the fractions of buying companies. Anyway, that's the there's a lot of it, and I only chose to show this one because there's really been a lot as far as alt season, on the cusp of alt season, beginning alt season, altcoins rising news. And without further ado, let's move on. Also in Mega popular news. The US dollar is increasingly being viewed in a negative light by investors. Bank of America analysts are seeing a death cross, a bearish technical formation suggesting that a period of dollar weakness is coming. Meanwhile, confidence in gold has been rising. Investors are increasingly viewing the US dollar in a negative light. Amid 19 not even returning, it was always there. And the prospect of improving growth abroad, such as in Europe. Analysts at Bank of America Global Research explained on Wednesday that a decline in the dollar earlier this week has set off a bearish technical formation known as a death cross in the USD index DXY. This occurs when the 50-day moving average crosses below the 200-day moving average. Reuters conveyed that according to the bank, they said past occurrences of the death cross have been followed by a period of dollar weakness 8 out of 9 times since 1980, when the 200-day moving average has been declining as it is now. This is incredibly popular news. I really don't even know how to put it into words at this point. Everything this year has been a bit obscene. I think the news that an enormous amount of analysts since the beginning of this year announcing that we were going to or should have already experienced a stock market crash. No one knows for certain. However, just the reality. Look at the reality of the situation, and we have not had one yet. And also the idea that a country could print trillions of dollars and that people could have more confidence in that currency was also a bit obscene. There were a lot of major analysts and economists who were talking about inflation coming to the US dollar and people being like, no, that's nonsense. And then you realize $7 trillion that they printed over the course of a 3-month period. So, it feels like we could be, and I'm very hesitant to even say this, that a reckoning could be finally upon us as far as reality hitting the stock market and the US dollar in the face. But based off of past manipulations and calculations and making sure that things don't appear as they should appear, I assume that this news may simply disappear over the course of the next couple of weeks, and we may be told once again that the economy is doing very well and that things are going to go up. If you haven't been looking at what's been taking place in Argentina and Venezuela and Lebanon, and I can't even name all the other countries right now, do yourself a favor and really just look those up. Zimbabwe as well. Things are not as they appear, and things... The NASDAQ should be 1/10 of its current value, but we know how manipulation goes. Yeah. Let's move on. I couldn't get away from this news anywhere. 3 of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges have listed Dogecoin. Earlier today, after the meme currency jumped 50% in 2 days, Binance will offer Doge perpetual swaps with a 50x leverage, OKEX with a Doge-dominated margined product, and Bitfinex with a Mega Doge token representing 1 million Dogecoins per DOG token. The exchange tweeted this morning its listing of the Doge perpetual swap with 50x leverage for traders. There's the tweet right there. This would enable speculators to further capitalize on their gains on Doge positions. However, an equal risk of losses is also present as it has a 50x leverage. That's insane even for Doge. Despite the listing, some communities suggest the exchange listed Doge only after its prices went up. Of course. What do you think this is? This is a money market. They weren't like, well, Doge isn't performing well at all. I think we should list it with a 50x. What were you thinking they were going to do? Anyway, there's that tweet right there. Hong Kong-based headquartered Bitfinex listed its M Doge product today, with each token representing 1 million Doge. The former does not feature on any of the prominent cryptocurrency exchanges trading on. They have Doge to BTC, Doge to USD, and Doge to US Tether. I assume US Tether is UST. Anyway, beginning on the 10th of July, the exchange said that right there. Not going to read all of that out with the little dog face looking at us. The point is, yeah, a lot of places were like, hey, why don't we start listing Doge? And I wonder how that's going to work out for them. It's a meme coin that people weren't using before. It got hyped on TikTok. And just for reference, does anyone remember what a fidget spinner is? Remember how popular fidget spinners were? And I don't know if it was the same for you. Nearly every single store. I remember. However, fidget spinners got started. I don't know what social media platform they got popular on. I think a day and a half after, every store around me had like a little section for fidget spinners. It didn't matter where, like even the supermarkets had like a fidget spinner section. And I was like, they don't really understand what social media is or how fast it works and how fast it moves. Because remember, like 2 months later, you only saw that one guy in the train with a fidget spinner, and no one else had them. Everyone had thrown them away, and every single store had them 90% off because no one was buying them anymore. So I'm going to assume, as Doge was, I want to say it was fairly popular. It wasn't unpopular before, but this mega surge in volume has to do with about 50 million, dare I say the 100 million amount of people gaining exposure to this new cryptocurrency to them called Doge that they're going to lose interest with in about a good 2 weeks. And then they'll move on to something else. It'll be some type of new weird dance that none of us can do because we all have bad knees. Anyway, the point is, multiple exchanges have listed Dogecoin and now have future support and leverage support and support for this coin. Oof. I mean, go for it. If it floats your boat and you find a way to make money from it, by all means, please do so. But that's the Dogecoin news. And without further ado, let's move on. Also, this is probably the most popular news of the day. Crypto exchange Coinbase, one of the largest American exchange firms, is planning a debut into the U.S. stock exchange. Once Coinbase listed is achieved, it becomes the first U.S. crypto exchange firm to go public. This was reported by Reuters. However, crypto frantic regulators, the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, has to approve the move before the crypto firm could get listed on the exchange. The SEC's approval of Coinbase Crypto Exchange for the listing would mark another endorsement of crypto for advocates. Reportedly, the exchange firm could begin processing of its listing before the end of the year or early next year, as they claim Coinbase is yet to register intentions of listing, but already started talking to higher investment banks and law firms. With the exchange said to be processing listing, it won't mark as the first crypto firm to be listed on the who wrote this? It's all completely backwards. Canaan, a mining farm, was already listed on the exchange platform last year. You can't compare a mining farm to Coinbase. That's like a banana factory got listed before Amazon. Not saying that Coinbase is Amazon, but you get the no one cares about a cryptocurrency mining firm. That's absolutely wonderful that they're mining the crypto, but who's making the billions? However, the Coinbase exchange would be the first exchange in the US to be listed on the exchange. They used the word exchange 19 times in that one sentence. On trying to confirm this report, Reuters reported that a Coinbase spokesperson said they don't comment on rumors or speculations, as SEC also declined comment. Why would the SEC? Can you imagine the SEC being like, yeah, you know, the non-disclosure agreement that we have, and we had discussions with them many times. It was over tea and cake. They are definitely like, why would the SEC have? Do you know how the SEC works? Have you not seen how ridiculous they've been the last 5 years? The point is, this was all over the place. This was all over the place. A lot of people are very excited about Coinbase being listed on the stock market. The idea is, for those of you not looking at this screen, it says, here's why Coinbase's stock market debut will be so positive for crypto. Sorry, the title. As opposed to just being will be positive for crypto, will be so positive for crypto. The idea being is that it being listed on the stock market would give traditional investors more exposure to the idea of buying into a company that is highly invested in cryptocurrencies. And therefore, if the crypto market does well and Coinbase does well, it'll be like a bit of a loop. Well, I'm already invested in Coinbase, and therefore I want to invest in some of the coins that they're also doing, because I saw that while Coinbase stock went up by 7%, this cryptocurrency that they're also holding went up by 38%, and I could have made more money, and this loop kind of goes around. We've had a lot of news about a couple of companies going public. It was Coinbase, I think it was BitMEX at one point as well. We've also had relatively speculative news that Ripple was also going to try and go public. Who knows if they're going to go public? However, I would not discount it. I would not say no at this point. I'm pretty sure a lot of other smaller cryptocurrency companies have also tried to go public within the US as well. There's money to be made. So don't be surprised if we get a Coinbase and or Ripple listing on the NASDAQ, S&P 500, somewhere in the stock markets in the near future, because, you know, they're businesses and they also want to make money. So don't assume that they're not going to want to make money, because, you know, they want to make money. And to finish things off, San Francisco fintech firm Ripple is targeting expansion of its ODL, formerly known as XRapid, remittance corridors to APAC and EMEA, that is APAC and EMEA. A senior executive of the firm told, or has stated, traditional Nostro Vostro systems require pre-funding before sending money across borders. Ripple created the on-demand liquidity, formerly known as XRapid, payment solution, which leverages XRP to transfer money fast and at low cost without the need for pre-funded accounts. This undeniably simplifies the lives of its clients and financial institutions by making the processing of cross-border payments seamless. Ripple has already established 4 payment corridors that are currently enjoying high volumes of transactions. Blockchain startup is looking to create new corridors between the Asia Pacific, Europe, the Middle East, and Africa in the course of this year. He said, or they said, we're also focusing on expanding our on-demand liquidity service, which uses ZERP as a bridge currency between 2 fiat currencies. This is the first time that digital assets are being used in production for an enterprise use case. We have established on-demand liquidity corridors into Mexico, the Philippines, Australia, and Europe, and we're hoping to further this expansion by opening corridors to APAC and EMEA this year. Of course, why wouldn't they? The point is for them to continuously use XRP as a payment option. And people were saying before, I don't know where this rumor got started. I'm going to explain to you how money works. Ripple holds a large in bold and caps number of XRP. They are in turn incentivized to use the ZERP that they have to be able to raise its price in some sort of way. There was news that we got at the beginning of this year and also the end of last year that apparently Ripple's true intention was to simply use RippleNet and to never actually use XRP as a payment method. If they are in possession of something that is currently, I have no idea what XRP's price is. Is it 18 cents, 19 cents, whatever the case might be, they are heavily incentivized to raise its price and to use it more to around $5, $10, $15 question mark. So of course they're going to be doing stuff like this. It's just more a matter of how many corridors that they're going to have and how many people are going to be using said product. I assume many things are in the works. I'm actually kind of shocked, actually very shocked, that Ripple has not announced more things during this period, and it's more so because this is kind of the summer of hype for everyone. We have Bitcoin's potential upgrades with all the privacy layers. We have Ethereum's upgrades. We have Litecoin's Mimblewimble upgrade. We have Tron. We have Cardano. We have this and that, and you know, all the upgrades that we have coming up. So I'm kind of shocked that Ripple hasn't announced a major new corridor, or that they're working with a major new company, or that they're doing something with a bank, because clearly at least one of those things is happening. But the fact that they haven't thrown it out there is a little Who knows? Maybe they're just working on stuff. And the last thing is mainstream banking giant Santander added 19 available regions for its OnePay FX international payments app built in collaboration with Ripple. A forward-thinking entity, Santander constructed OnePay FX as a borderless, blockchain-based payment channel in the form of an app, according to a statement posted by Ripple on the 9th of July. Building the app alongside Ripple, Santander launched the app in 2018, formerly only available in the UK, Spain, Poland, and Brazil. OnePay FX now enables users from 19 additional regions. The statement said the US and Chile sit among others of the list of added countries. Customers told us that the international payments process could be faster or better, so we partnered with Ripple to explore how blockchain could make transactions faster, cheaper, and more transparent. Cool. Wonderful. Yeah, they're doing what they said they were going to do. Once again, not much news from them. I feel like the Santander news is something that they had before. Have we had any? Did this happen? Did the Japanese bank SBI ever release their cryptocurrency exchange? I think that happened last year. I think the last news that we got from Ripple / XRP / SBI was that they were planning on using XRP for remittances between or in Japan or something like that, and it would be like billions of dollars. I guess we'll get more news about that as the year goes on. Question mark. But yeah, of course. I mean, they have a huge incentive to use XRP. Why would they? I don't know who. I would love to meet the people who formulate this news in their mind, and then they release this news into the public thinking that it makes any kind of sense. Anyway, yeah, Ripple's still doing stuff, and let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, David James, Attila the Han, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Steuer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moher Maroney, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cold E3D, Damian Setsuna, Nick Kanai, Richie Rich 3, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day. Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Arf Medic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigera Machonisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who, I forgot all the other things I normally say, but thank you to everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. At the moment, the market's down, but not out. That was very cheesy. Bitcoin's currently at 91.73, currently down by 2.3%. Ethereum is down by just about 3%. XRP is down by 3.5%. What have you, so on and so forth. I think Cardano is the biggest down by just around 7% in the top 10. I assume this once again also has to do with the massive run-up, and this is kind of the breathing period, if you will. Trading volumes are still up for a lot of coins. Last week, XRP's trading volume was around 650 million. It's currently at 1.6 billion, so it's a big swoop upwards from where it was before. It looks like some of the coins are trying to recover. Who knows exactly what's going to end up happening at this point? Don't be surprised if Bitcoin falls below 9,000, especially if the stock market opens and the stock market falls down. Then Bitcoin, of course, seemingly also has to fall down as well, which, you know, makes the most amount of sense in the entire world. Yeah, the market's in the red, to be expected, because, you know, logic. Dogecoin is currently down by almost 12% because logic. And yeah, nothing is skyrocketing up or moving up because I'm tired of saying the word logic. I hope you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. It is It's Friday. So enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your day and just do something fun. I was going to say go hang out. That might not be an option. Video chat your friends. Watch some Netflix. Did you know that you can sync your Netflix videos with your friends so you can watch the same movies in your house while they're in their own house? So you could both watch it and have a tablet set up next to you so you could both watch it. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something futuristic. Anyway, the point is, enjoy your day, enjoy your night. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.